Sorry.
All right, welcome to the Feedback Podcast, everybody. My name is Back. Thank you for tuning in. A couple of announcements, as always. Make sure you go to youtube.com/thefeedback, and you can see the videos of all the episodes, all the people I've had. Who did I have recently? Doc Farrow was here. Shout out to Doc Farrow. That was a dope episode. I always forget who I've talked to. Oh, Ellis H. That was a good one. We talked about anime. I love talking about anime, so go back and listen to that. Jose the Hype, that was a good one too, in honor of Pride Month. That was a fun episode. So yeah, go back to the archive. Check out make sure you subscribe. That always helps. I ain't got no Patreon. I ain't got no sponsors, but this is just fun for me. So support however you can. Second announcement, Record Play returns on Saturday, August 26th. Tickets are already live. Pre-sale tickets are live. They're actually already selling. So make sure you go to recordplay.live/divas to get your tickets. Yes, it is the Divas edition. So you'll have them all, from Dolly Parton to Beyonce to Lady Gaga to Sade. Like, remember VH1 Divas? That's pretty much who we're going to be celebrating. Thank you so much for everybody who showed up to the 80s Pop. That was dope over at Soho House. We packed the house. Shout out to King Brian and shout out to Katie Felton for hosting. And so, yeah, follow Record Play Live on Instagram and you get all the updates, and hope to see you on Saturday, August 26th at the Pershing. Go to recordplay.live/divas to get your tickets. All right. So, it is the return. The champ is here.
The champ is here.
The champ is here.
The champ is back in the building.
That's right, in my building. So
Just had to put that in there.
yeah,
Huh?
I just got to,
I own this motherfucker.
I think you know me well enough at this point.
In my building. All right, nigga. I don't know about you, but these headphones is getting real tight, man. My head getting bigger, or these headphones getting smaller.
Why? You got 39K downloads of your special. All of a sudden, you walk into my house with shades on.
I did, and I was trying to wear them right now. I was feeling real good with my shades on. Goddamn it! By the time they hear this, it's gonna be 40,000. So,
you think you're big shit now?
I don't think anything. I just go with what the people tell me, and they tell me that my shit don't stink no more. So I said, fuck it, I'll poop wherever I want.
Oh, not my house.
Too late. Shit.
No, but congrats on 39,000 downloads.
40.
I just checked.
39.5. But by the time they hear this, it's gonna be 40. So just go ahead and be.
Okay, let's just say 40.
Let's say 40 because by the time they hear this, it's gonna be 40.
What's you have a goal by the end of summer or end of are you promoting it yourself?
Nah, nigga.
I forgot who I was talking to.
Nah, I'm not
networking zero over here.
That's a motherfucking lie. Since the last time I sat in this chair, quite a bit has changed. But
okay,
am I promoting it? Nah, nigga, we ain't promote shit for this motherfucker. That's what makes this so dope. That's what makes 40,000 so dope. Is I ain't promote shit.
And
we didn't do nothing.
You own 10,000 of those?
Nah, not a damn
refresh.
one. That's all.
That's your kids to hit refresh every hour?
Not even. This is all word of mouth, fucking YouTube algorithm and shit. Like that was the thing. Like this was, you thought I maybe put. Well, I don't even know how to make the clips. So
I was about to say, like,
there's no clips. There's no clips up. There's no nothing. That's nigga 40,000. Imagine if we did fucking promote this shit.
Exactly.
Imagine if I did actually have a team working on promotions and all that stuff. This motherfucker. But I mean, we got 700,000 impressions. Imagine what would happen if I promoted this shit. Don't touch my shit.
It's my mic too.
Yeah, but it was in my comfort zone. And here you go. You got way too close. Your fingers were too close to where my face is.
You like that? Yeah.
No, you better get them little fucking maple sausage fingers out of here. Just fucking Pepe Le Pew fingers out of here.
No, but seriously, congratulations. That's dope.
Thank you, man.
That is dope. Have you seen any change in your, like, how you getting booked or like people coming up to you as anything?
There's been like,
or most of these people from India that are in play. Like, what is?
I thought that was gonna happen. No, not so much. India has not represented.
Malaysia, where is it?
No,
Ukraine.
No, man.
They need to laugh in Ukraine.
It's here in it's America. It's the United Kingdom, Canada.
Okay.
That's the top 3 that I've seen. I to be honest with you, I stopped checking on it like a minute ago. So
Really? Because you
no, like when you asked me the other day where we were at, I was like, shit, that's a good question.
imagine if you did this right. Imagine where you would be if you actually gave a shit a little. Just a little.
That's the charm of it, though. That's the charm. That's why this works, is because I'm not putting on a front or a facade, and I'm not out here all of a sudden. Yeah, dude. I'm
not saying you gotta like whoop yourself all the time and
I'm just saying that
fanfare and all that.
You know what? I mean, fuck it. I mean, we're gonna listen. We got 40,000 off of nothing. Off of nobody backing us, no money put into it. When I yesterday I was at the little get together and they're like, "How much did you spend?" And I was like, well, nothing." They're like, "Oh, so it was like we did it all in house." And they're like, "Oh, okay, so you didn't pay?" I was like, "Nah, man, it was me and my boy did this whole thing. We didn't spend nothing. We just did it and we put it out there and he didn't promote it for shit. Well, I mean, he did more than me." But yeah, we fucking made it happen. We just put it out there and we just wanted to see what it did. And Justin did a great job on putting it together, editing it, producing it, all that shit, making it look good. And clearly people thought that the content was good enough that they watched more than fucking 3 minutes. I mean, for the first month, the average retention was about 17 minutes. Now it's down to about 15 minutes, 45 seconds. So, I mean, that's 2 months in. We're still over 15 minutes of people watching. So they're not just clicking it and clicking away. They're at least spending 15 minutes with it. So the content must be pretty solid and it looks really great. So next time we'll do it and I'll probably do the same thing. So I'm gonna have to hire people to do that shit because I'm not gonna be able to do
the clipping thing,
all of the promotion stuff. Like,
yeah, I mean it's a job.
It is, and I've already got jobs. So
yeah, exactly.
So I don't have time that's my job to promote it, but I ain't got time for that.
Nobody screamed dip at your shows yet.
There's been some random dip things. I walked into a bar and somebody yelled dip. The bartender dip. As soon as I walked in, I was like, oh shit, no twist. What's up? Let's go. Do I get free drinks? What's happening?
Nope.
The first one was on the house. First one was. Oh,
that's good.
But you asked what's changed. People treat me differently. Some people, but people that really know me don't treat me any different. You don't treat me different.
I would never.
You still talk crazy to me and shit. You made me take my sunglasses off.
You think I'm gonna change because you got 40K? No.
Some of the opportunities.
Talk about the show you did over at Bastrop.
Yeah.
Because you worked with Zachary Levi before on that little short film you talked about.
Yeah, that's I don't even know. You notice this cup is from there.
Oh, okay.
Wildwood. This was something I got to take with me. So there's been opportunities now that just like a lot of cool shit has happened. Like people hitting me up to do things that I'm like, oh shit, what am I doing here? Mm-hmm. One of which is got to go down to Wildwood in Bastrop. That's Zachary Levi's ranch. Yeah. And I was asked to come out there and perform for him and some other people. It's funny. That was one of those shits that I was like, I need a back with me because I don't know who anybody here is. I don't know.
You should have told me I would have been there.
I didn't know anybody there, of course.
Tone was there, right?
Yeah, Tone was there. I was there with Tone and Amy and Colton. And it was a dope-ass experience. And like you said, so I know Zach. I met him once because we worked together on the Thoughts and Prayers project.
Right.
So we did that. So he was going down. He introduced himself to Colton. Hey, I'm Zach. Pleasure to meet you. Hey, Amy gives her a hug. Hey, I'm Zach. Pleasure to meet you. Comes and gives me a hug. Hey, I'm Zach. Pleasure to meet you. I go, we actually met before. He goes, have we? And I go,
damn.
I was like, yeah, Thoughts and Prayers. I was the cop. He goes, oh.
The mustache.
I didn't have the mustache anymore.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But I was like, yeah, I was the cop in Thoughts and Prayers. He goes, oh, it's so great to see you again. Big hug, all that. And the show was dope. It was like what they're doing out there at Wildwood is amazing.
It's kind of like what Chappelle did in Ohio.
Kind of like the stage. Okay, I'll tell the story.
Well, please. I think you have a mic in front of you.
I know, but it's like I wasn't planning on telling this today, but I'll tell the story.
Yeah,
so
tell
we get out there, we go to Tone's crib, we get out to Wildwood, and Tone is telling us, I can't wait for y'all to see this, and he's telling this girl like how they just built this stage because basically they've built like. So the thing is, they were doing a 4th of July weekend type deal. So a bunch of people flew down to his spot for the 4th of July, and it was like a whole weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday thing. And there was like people had campers out there and RVs out there, and he's built a bunch of bungalows and stuff for people to stay at. It was a whole event, right? And they had like, like yoga in the morning and breakfast, and then we're floating the river. They had like events planned and shit. So it was like this whole dope thing. And we were
summer camp.
Basically, and we were the entertainment for night one.
Okay.
So they built a stage where, because like I said, he's like tons of land. So in a place where there was nothing, they built a stage in 2 weeks, and it was pretty sick. There's how do I describe it? So there's a platform that they built up, right? And then they built risers up, maybe like 4 risers up, and it's like all wood. Then they carpeted it, the whole thing. So you had to take your shoes off when you got on and when you stepped on the platform. And then they had, instead of chairs, they had like big old body pillow beanbag joints. I hope I'm not going to get shot for this. I did have to sign a thing. I don't know what I'm not supposed to be saying.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm, I don't know if I'm,
Levi is a dope spot in Bastrop.
I don't know if I'm breaking, but what I'm saying is they built this whole thing in 2 weeks, this whole platform for us to perform on. And because Tone was like 2 weeks ago, there was nothing here. And now there's a stage with lights, with a lighting thing, a sound guy.
Wow.
At the top of the thing is a swimming pool. It was like 2 weeks ago, none of that was there. And we were the first ones to get to perform there on that stage. And it was a fucking honor, right? It was dope to be able to do that. To be able to where there was nothing. He fucking filled the dreams of this shit. Build it and they will come.
So it's going to be, I'm guessing it's going to be using it and to kind of, just like Chabelle does in Yellow Springs.
Potentially.
Like bring on shows and bring on his friends to do.
I think so. I think they'll be doing like music and stuff like that. And the fucking backdrop was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was a fucking great experience. And like I said, maybe there were people there.
Probably. You just didn't know who they were.
Probably.
Even Tone didn't help you.
Tone was doing his own thing. He was working. He was doing his own thing. But probably there were people there. But it was a very cool experience. I'm glad I got to be there. And just like I said, the fact that there was nothing there, and they built the stage in 2 weeks.
Hey, when you got the resources,
and then it everything was on point. It was. I hope.
Did you stay?
We stayed a little bit that night, and then we got invited to come back if we wanted to come back for the 4th and whatever. But like the next day, Sunday, I had something to do in the afternoon. I had to be somewhere Sunday, and then Monday I was free. But they weren't going out there until late, and then Tuesday was 4th of July, and I couldn't go out because I had people coming through. And So I was already had a house full coming over, and I was already supposed to be barbecuing and all this stuff. So I didn't get a chance to make it back out there.
It looks nice. It sounds nice.
Yeah, but hopefully I didn't say anything I wasn't supposed to say right now, and they invite me to come back.
They built the stage in 2 weeks. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah. Well, then again, none of Zach Levi's people are listening to this podcast, so it'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
nobody's listening. Nobody knows who Zachary Levi is.
Yeah, Now, if we were talking about like
Shazam, you know Shazam?
Shut up. If we were talking about like David Cross's people or Earthquake's people, then maybe I might be in trouble. But nobody in Zachary Levi's camp is listening to the feedback. Yeah. So we're good.
All right. I'll make sure to point that out when I meet him eventually. I do a podcast. Well, no shit. Yeah, but no, don't listen to it.
Yeah, no. I'm never gonna take you to meet him. So you have a long time before you get there. You have to drop an album and not promote it. So that
watch
you can
me work.
That you can get
you Mosey. I know how to network.
Yeah, well, you know what? Mosey's got me pretty
far without much effort. Any effort whatsoever.
I just exist. I'm just here. I don't even know
just
how I got
here.
here. I literally just woke up, the lights were on, and you're talking to me. I don't know how I got here.
Aaron Cheatham, I'm here.
That's the next album. I'm here.
That's actually pretty good.
And I'm just here.
Did you do the fireworks and all that good stuff?
Mm-mm.
No?
No, I still don't know how to use this Yeti. This is too fancy for me. I'm just dripping
you
water
drip
out
it.
all over myself.
Yeah, you don't belong there.
It's not for me. This is fancy ass cup.
Drink out of a cup. Yeah, hold it.
I need a straw. No, I didn't shoot no fire. I don't do no goddamn fireworks. I barbecued. I did that. I fucking grilled, and I feel like I don't even. When was the fucking 4th of July?
Last Tuesday.
Like, what's today?
Sunday?
The
9.
Okay, so that was this week.
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay. What did I do for the 4th of July? Did we do? No, I don't even.
Holy shit, man.
Wait, I feel like I had to be somewhere. I feel like I was driving and I saw fireworks.
You know what the 4th of July is, right?
I do, but I'm like, wait, where the fuck was I?
You were not at home cooking. You said you were grilling because you had people over.
Yeah, I did, and then I feel like I did something afterwards.
But
I was supposed to be at the creek at 10. That's what it was. So yeah, so I did I grilled and everything, and then Martin get to stepping everybody in my house. Took a shower, and then I headed down to the creek because I was supposed to do a show at the creek Tuesday night.
Okay.
And got there, and that's why I was like, wait, I know. So now I'm there. Yeah. So because I remember I was coming over the from 71 to 35.
Yeah.
The overpass.
Yeah.
Like that's like one of my favorite views of the city when you're coming around that curve,
you
getting
know,
on
downtown.
35, and you
Yeah.
can see downtown.
Yeah.
And so as I was coming down, you see the fireworks coming up, and I was like, that's pretty.
The one
fun.
from the Long Center?
I guess like from the river.
Yeah.
Like
that's
you
the
could
one.
see them.
There was usually like, so Georgetown has one. The one at the Long Center. I went to the one in Buda. I went to the one at the Galleria in Bee Cave. And that shit was, first of all, if you're going to have, I get it. You got to wait till sundown, right? So sundown is like 9 o'clock now.
Right.
And you have a bunch of kids and you're like, by 8:30
They're ready to go down.
Out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're out. They've been out in the sun all day, running around. You know, they ate. You know, and
if you keep them up, they're just gonna lose their fucking minds.
no shit.
They're gonna lose their shit.
No, here's what they did. It was supposed to start at 9:40. The fireworks. And we were like, all right. First of all, it's hot as hell. We're gonna go and wait in the car. So
Is you and your family?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we waited in the car, and we're like, all right, it's like 9:20-ish. Like, let's just go back out there and then see, and find a good spot, but close to the car, so that we're gonna watch the whole thing from the car,
Right.
because it was
AC.
hot outside, yeah. And so we go down, and there's no announcement, nothing. They just start shooting. And they started early. Instead of 1:40, they started at 9:30. And I thought it was like, oh, maybe it's not really the one from here. Maybe it's like somebody else's. No. That was it. And that shit was loud as fuck. Loud as I honestly thought it was going to go higher in the air. So we could we could probably go to another shopping center and just chill there and then watch it from there. But they didn't go. It barely went over a building.
So were you disappointed?
Yeah, because it was loud. I had to like cover my ears and my son's ears because it was loud as fuck. And
Did you think that fireworks weren't going to be loud as fuck?
No. They were going to be so low. I thought they would go higher in the sky. So you could see them. First of all, you could see them from further out.
Right.
I'm sure the one downtown goes higher, but this one was like close. And just shot out of nowhere. Everybody got startled. Because it was on the schedule. It said, Vallejo was going to play, and then the mayor of Bee Cave or whatever was going to say a few words, and then offer the fireworks. But didn't hear the mayor talk or nothing. He just choo, and then it was popping.
Was it a good show?
I mean, it's fireworks.
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen this and people still want to film them. I don't know why. Take pictures.
Yeah, like I saw one of those those drones that were up in the fireworks,
Oh, really?
and that shit looked pretty cool. Like there was a drone like taking footage of the fireworks in the air.
Oh, okay.
And I was
That'd
like,
be dope.
okay, I've never seen that.
Oh, okay, that's good.
You know, like I've seen motherfuckers taking video from the ground of fireworks or from different locations of fireworks.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen a drone flying through and fireworks going off and seeing. I saw that and I was like, that's pretty dope. Okay,
I'll be far enough because that shit could blow up.
yeah, like that's a pretty big investment you got flying around with some goddamn rockets blowing up around it.
Shit.
But the footage he got was fucking dope. I was like, all right,
You got to see it?
yeah. Yeah, it was like on IG or something. I saw it on either IG or
Okay,
Facebook.
okay. Yeah.
A friend that had a drone that they were flying around, and the footage was great. And I was like, dude, that's pretty sick. But now I've seen it, so I need to see it again.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's fireworks.
It's like, yeah, that's another. Okay, I've never seen fireworks like this. Now I have.
Done.
Dope. Cool.
Check. I'm done.
Next.
Exactly.
Next. And now, unless you got like a fiber optic cable that you're gonna strap to the goddamn firework, and I get the up and then boom.
Like with it?
Yes. That's the only thing left. It's the only thing that needs to be the next VR experience. Is you put this
You
headset
are
on
a firework.
and you shoot up and then boom, and it's like, oh shit. That's the only way left for me to watch them, or to have one like shot into my ass. But I'm not on Jackass, so I'm not gonna see that.
Oh, I'm done. I'm done with fireworks. Honestly,
I'm good. But
I just went because of my kid. And
That's the thing.
He wasn't even that impressed because he was like, "Daddy, it's loud." I'm like, "Yeah, well, you want now you see them."
this is the thing that like these are the things that we have to do when you become a parent.
Yeah.
You have to take the kids, and it's like technically, like I don't give a fuck about this. I don't need.
You're not
I don't need
patriotic.
no,
You
it's
didn't
not
put
that.
a little flag in front of your house.
Nah, nigga, like, listen, I don't need, but they need to know that this is what this is, so you got to do this shit. Like, we took them to SeaWorld, and, like, I was a SeaWorld kid growing up. My mom used to just drop us off at SeaWorld in the summer and be like, I'll be back at 5. And, me and my sister go do SeaWorld, so I spent a lot of time at SeaWorld as a kid, and taking my kids there, and they're like, they've never rode real roller coasters and shit, and I'm like, I don't want to do any of this shit. Like, I'm here for y'all, but if I never came to SeaWorld again, I'd be fine.
Yeah, but because you spent all your time there already.
Facts.
You already put your time in.
I've already done that. So I'm not impressed by, and it's like, it was cool to go back and be like, oh man, they've changed this or they changed that. But ultimately,
right.
it's roller coasters, and it's like, nigga, like I'm straight. Like I'm good. I rolled a couple roller coasters, and I was, after like the second one, I was like, no, we straight. I don't need to get on another roller coaster. Fucking at 6'5", this shit don't feel right. Like when I was younger, I might have been a little bit more flexible. Like, they had to show me how to sit down, and when I couldn't get the motherfucker. It was a whole situation. They were like, you need to sit like this, sir. And I was like, oh,
Sit
bitch.
sideways, you get a whole car to yourself and sitting sideways.
No, it was the first ride we get on. They're like these Sea-Doo looking, like jet ski looking cars. So I get on, and I can't like comfortably get in. I'm trying to figure out how to do it. And then like she shows me how, like, oh no, stand up again and then sit down again. And then it's like, oh, okay, cool. And at that moment I realized that my vape was I was wearing shorts, like cargo shorts, and they were on my side pocket. And I was like, oh, I don't know how this ride's gonna go. I need to take it out my side pocket and put it in my pocket. And as I'm thinking this, they have the 10, like a countdown going down. It's like, shit, let me get this motherfucker. Then the bar's in the way, so I can't get it in my pocket. So I'm trying to shove this in my pocket. It's like 5, 4, then the top, hold on. So then this part comes off, and this is in my pocket. I'm trying to
blast off?
and I'm trying to shove this in my pocket at blast off at a point where it's like not gonna fall. And then it's like, as I get it in my pocket, it says 1, and then boom, we're gone. And it's like, you know what? For the first ride that I'm riding with my son, it's a damn shame his dad had to look like a bitch. Cause it is not that I wasn't ready, because I was like trying to get the shit in my pocket, and then
It's always like that.
and then boom, and they take in this fucking ride, they take the
Which one is
picture.
it?
I don't know what the shit was called. I can't remember. I'll find out and I'll let you know. But when they shot us out, they took the picture right away.
So you look dumb as hell.
Oh, I was like, I was like, I had a look of pain and fear, and it was just like, because it was immediately shoot you out, take you on a drop, and I'm like still in my mind like trying to get my shit, and it's like, what the fuck? So the picture is me like looking terrified and in pain, and my son is just like, yeah. And then that nigga passed out. Like I think I looked over when I finally composed myself, and I was like, "Is this motherfucker alive?" And he was just like, "Yo!" And he's like, "Ah!" And I was like, after that, I was like, "I'm good. I don't need to get on another fucking roller coaster. We're so straight right now.
Come on.
We're so."
I'll do them again with my son.
Well, my sister, my wife, was let's go every roller coaster. Let's go. And Kennedy, my daughter's too small to get on most of them, so I was like, bet y'all go do that.
I'm gonna hang back with the daughter.
And me and Ken, we gonna get into some shit. So that's what we did. We went and got into some shit while they went and did the roller coasters and stuff. Me and Casey had a fucking time. So then that's what places like SeaWorld are for. You know, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, I was there last summer.
Yeah.
Took him from the first time. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was,
No, it's fun. It's fun.
My son is big enough to ride most of the rides. He was able to ride all the rides except for the Great White.
Yeah, my son is not tall enough just yet.
Yeah, he's probably around Kennedy's height.
Yeah.
So there's maybe there's a good amount of rides he can ride, like a lot of the little kid stuff. I don't know if your son's like my daughter, but she doesn't fuck with any little kid shit.
No, he doesn't want to. He gets bummed out because he can't do all the crazy shit.
Right. My daughter looked at the little kid stuff and was like, "Oh, this is for babies.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not a baby."
Exactly.
And it's like, "But nigga, you
eat more."
Yeah, that's what I told her. I was like, "You got a week before we go to SeaWorld. You got to grow about 3 inches. So I need you to be eating everything."
Uh-huh.
She was pounding all her vegetables for a whole week.
That's when my son doesn't want to finish his plate. I'm like, "You want to ride that ride next time we go to there?" Yeah, then finish your damn plate.
Mm-hmm.
That's the trade-off. All right, so let's get into this episode's topic, which is things we learned the hard way. So I'm sure a lot of stories. You want to go first?
I mean, you're the host.
I'm asking you.
You can go.
Giving you. Okay. All right. So, thing I learned the hard way early on. We had a rule in the house. This is back in France. We had a rule that said you can't, if you make plans with your friends, you can't tell mom and dad like last minute. You have to like give a heads up like 6 months in advance.
Okay.
It's like that. And the thing is, I'm like, look, we're kids. We don't think that far ahead.
We don't plan.
Yeah, we don't even think that far ahead. Like, what are you doing tonight? Oh, we're just going to hang out at the park, right? And so I'm in middle school. Yeah, I'm in middle school. And my friends and I were like, all right, tonight we're going to go have some pizza. I'm like, well, I'm not sure I can go because I can't just tell my parents we're going to have pizza tonight. And I didn't give them a heads up. And they're like, guys, come on, it'll be fine. You know, your mom and dad are nice. I'm like, no, you know them as nice. They're terrifying. But I'm like, fuck it. So I came home from school, and I told my mom, I said, hey, we're just gonna go have pizza. It's down the street. You know, hop on my bike, and then I'll be back. And she goes, you know the rule? Like, yeah, I know the rules. You gotta wait till your dad gets home. The rule is, first of all, you can't put us like last minute, and also you gotta ask dad too. I'm like, but dad doesn't get here till 10 from work, like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock from work. So by that time I'll already be home. And she goes, well, do what you want. I'm like, all right. So I hopped on my bike and I went to the pizza shop. I get there and I didn't eat. I sat down the whole time like, fuck. I hope my dad didn't come home early. That's two rules I'm breaking, and I'm gonna be in trouble. I didn't eat. I just sat down. My friends like, come on, have some pizza. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I stayed for 15 minutes. I shit you not, stayed for 15 minutes. I'm like, I gotta go. And there was no phones back then. You couldn't tell nothing. So I hop on my bike and I race back to the house. And I remember, so to get to my house, like it was like a downhill thing. And then you turn, and then you could see my house right when you turn. And I'm hauling ass. I get to the turn, I see my dad's car. And I'm like, fuck. I get in slowly, and everybody's home. Like, he decided to come home early that day. And I open the door slowly, and I see my younger brother coming down the stairs going. Like the cutthroat gesture, like really like hard, like motherfucker, you're dead. Because dad came home and you're not here. And we already ate. Like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I think I'm going to go to I'm gonna go to sleep early today. I went straight to my room. And 5 minutes later.
Wait, so you were only gone for like 15 minutes?
I mean, by the time I would say about 30 total with the bike ride and everything.
Right.
About 30 total.
So you were only out of the house for 30 minutes.
Yeah, and my dad came home.
And he came home and they ate dinner in 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. Like he couldn't have been home that long.
No, I'm saying like they ate. I think they ate before he got there. Yeah, they ate before he got there.
I'm just saying like he couldn't have been home that long.
It doesn't matter. I wasn't there when he got home.
Got you.
That was the thing. Not only I said last minute, and two, I was not there when he got home. Mm-hmm. And he came knock on my door, and he's like, "So you think you're the man now? You think you can just like the rule? Like you can't, no last minute. You gotta give a heads up, and when I come home, you gotta be here." Biggest ass whooping I ever got. One of the biggest ass whoopings I ever gotten.
Did you ever tell him that rule don't really make sense? Did it make sense to you?
No, of course. I'm a kid. I don't.
Right now, as a dad, does that rule make sense to you?
I mean, a little bit of a heads up, but like but look, my son's 5. I'm not like.
But I mean, are you going to be like, you need to be home when I'm home, or like like that part of the rule, like the heads up, I get, but you got to be here when I get here thing is like, man, that's kind of a dictator shit. That's kind of
look, we Africans, man. We know dictatorships.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. No. Because if not, he'll sell your ass off. You'll be on a boat coming to America.
I will be going back home. I'll be like, I'm sending your ass back to Africa. But yeah, that was holy shit.
Okay.
I'll never forget that.
That's rough.
Yes.
That's rough. I learned the hard way that you don't eat pussy with a spoon.
That's okay. I gotta hear this.
Since we going back into that bag of shit we learned when we were kids. I remember when I was really young. I was maybe like 10-ish, around that age. We were still in Mississippi, and there were rules in my neighborhood for the kids. That it was like Lord of the Flies type shit. Like we had our own set of rules and laws that we had to follow in the neighborhood. Like nobody under the age of 12 was allowed to cuss.
Okay.
Little kids were, and this was all enforced by other kids. Mm-hmm. So if you were under 12 and you was cussing, it was like, yo, what are you doing, homie? Like, don't let the big kids hear you doing that shit, right?
Oh.
So, and the big kids were respected, so once you got to middle school, you 12 and over, like, you were the man, because it was military housing, so nobody was really in high school. Like, not in that age bracket. At that time, none of us were in high school. Then the high school kids were doing their own thing. They were in another world. Like, I don't even recall even seeing high school kids that often. It was, middle school and below. So there was a rule that no cussing until you were 12. And I remember one day, I'm hanging out. Like, you can hang out with the older kids, but most of the time the older kids were just like, all right, you're a little kid, fuck off, But like once your friends started becoming older, bigger kids, then I had a friend Marcus, and he went from 10 to 13, and at 13, he's rolling with the other big kids, and it's like, well, that's my dog, so I'm still gonna come hang around with Marcus, even though I'm still younger. And one day, him and some of the other kids were talking, and it was like these older kids. They might have been around high school age, but I just remember being at the playground, hearing this conversation. And this guy said, oh, man, I was eating that pussy with a spoon. And I was like, oh. So in my mind.
You knew what a pussy was?
Yeah. I know what a fucking pussy was.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I knew what a pussy was. I just didn't know that people ate pussy, right?
As in the cat at the time, or just.
Right. Just like, no, I didn't know that. I had never heard of eating pussy, right? I knew of like intercourse or sex or whatever. I knew that. I knew that women had pussies. I heard it called a pussy many times, right? But
I listened to rap.
I didn't know I'd
can
never
eat
heard
it.
of I'd never heard of eating pussy. So the first time I heard of eating pussy was a guy saying, I ate that pussy. That pussy was so juicy, I ate it with a spoon.
That's hilarious.
So, fast forward.
Oh wow! This motherfucker. This holy shit.
Let's just say fast forward to some years later. Some years later.
Mm-hmm.
And the first chick that tried to get me to go down on her, I said,
Let me get no.
I don't have a spoon.
Are you fucking no?
And she goes,
No.
nigga, a spoon? I go, yeah, you want me to, I don't have a spoon to eat your pussy. She goes, if you don't get on your knees. And I was like, ew, no, bitch. No. The whole thing, I was out of sorts.
You're lying.
No, I was out of sorts.
I don't have a spoon.
I was out of sorts from the jump, right? Like I don't have a spoon. She's like, nigga, what are you doing? Get on your knees. And then I get on, she's like, you better get your knees, you're gonna get your knees dirty. And I was like, my knees dirty? She's like, yeah, you finna get them ashy today. I go, what are you talking about? I put lotion on. What are you talking about? And she's like, get down. And then she's like, I was like, ew.
Did you?
Ew. No, I didn't eat that bitch pussy. Nah. No. I'm glad I didn't. I probably would have got something. But yeah, that was a hell of a conversation. Like really quickly, I had to like, I didn't mean that. Yeah, I didn't mean.
That's not what I meant. A spoon? No. I meant the moon. The moon's not out. I don't have a moon.
I just really quickly, just like when she was kind of looked at me, I was like, ah.
How old were you?
18?
Wow.
18? Yeah. This is the first chick I fucked. So yeah, 18.
I don't have my spoon.
I ain't got a spoon.
So that,
I ain't got a spoon.
okay. The whole time were you just carrying a spoon around just in case?
No, I had,
leading up to that.
No, because niggas didn't eat pussy back then. That was the lore. That was the. This is in the niggas don't eat pussy days. So you remember those days? Like I ain't eating no pussy.
I always did.
Well, you'd always did. You're African, but there was definitely a
you
stigma.
think in Africa to do that?
No. It was a stigma in America where black men didn't eat pussy. That was a thing that I ain't eating no pussy. So I was definitely like,
wow,
I ain't eating no pussy.
Those were the wrong times.
For women,
my favorite thing.
Yeah, but
give me a ladle. I'll fucking
yeah. Once I started eating pussy, I was like, oh yeah, well,
give me salad spoons. Give me all kinds of spoons.
This is fine. This is quite fine. In fact,
give me a straw. I will drink it.
Listen here, I was in band for a long time, and came to find out that an amateur of mine, when they asked what that mouth do, oh, I could play 3 instruments and this bitch right here. I can. I'll make her sing the Star Spangled Banner tonight.
I'll do the trumpet. I do saxophone. I'll do them all.
Give me a spoon and I'll do the pussy. So yeah, I learned the hard way. You do not eat pussy with a spoon. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing, but really quickly I was like, I just rolled with it. Nah, because she was like, the fuck you talking about, nigga? Get on your knees. I was like, what am I gonna do on my knee? It's just I had to learn a lot real fast.
I think when it comes to sex, it's all gonna be trial and error anyway.
Yeah,
you're gonna learn the hard way whether or not someone likes something or doesn't like. I mean, so if someone doesn't like something, you're gonna know right away.
We'll get deeper into that later.
Oh yeah,
we'll get deeper. What's your next one?
No, mine's on a serious tip.
Okay,
my next one's on a serious tip. I learned the hard way how to deal with someone with depression. In the sense that you can't really, how can I put this? You can't assume that whatever you're trying, because you're trying to help, right? It's your friend, it's your partner, it's whoever. And, one thing they always tell you is that someone who doesn't have depression, who's not experiencing depression, cannot relate to someone who does. Like when someone with depression tells you, "Look, it's crippling. I can't get out of bed, or I don't feel like doing anything, or I feel like killing myself, or whatever that is," and you're explaining that. Sorry, this took a really serious turn, but whatever. And someone's telling you all that, and you're like, "I don't know, snap out of it." Work out, sleep, get some rest, eat right. Like you're genuinely trying to help but you don't know how because you can't relate to anything that person is saying. And I mean, I went through it myself, as in like being around someone with depression and anxiety, and at the end of the day, you can't read. I mean, you can't read people's minds, and the fact that sometimes like all they want is a hug or somebody to say, "Hey, it's gonna be okay," and you don't even get that part. So all you're trying to do is come up with whatever, whatever solution you think makes sense. But to them, it's like no, it doesn't work like that. So the lesson that I learned from it all is that um, you gotta pay more attention and and really make it about themselves, make it about them, than you trying to help. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Let me elaborate a little bit. So for example, you can be like, oh well, maybe you should, I'll take care of stuff. You do whatever you need to do to get better. I don't know what that is, but you do whatever you need to do. But in my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, kudos. I try to help, but it's actually making things worse.
Yeah.
And so you're just being attentive and actually asking, hey, seriously, like, what do you need from me? Like, what is it that would at least
How long did it take you to learn that?
2 years?
2 years?
Yeah, 2 years. And it's it sucks because you think back on it and you go, well, yeah, if I'd only known that piece, maybe things would have been different. But I think that when you're in a position to help, but you make it about you helping and not hearing what they need, it never works out that way.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I learned that part. That was a big lesson. So I try my best to. I'm like a lot of people's therapists these days. People call me up with all kinds of stuff and all kinds of problems. I'm like, look, you tell me what you want from me.
Right.
Like how I'm not going to assume shit. I'm not going to give you any advice. But sometimes, I mean, as a married man, I'm sure sometimes you're like, baby, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to say?
Like, I used to. That was 5 years ago.
Now you just don't give a fuck no more.
Nigga, I just live here. I told you.
I'm just here.
I'm here. Just tell me what the fuck to do.
That's what I'm saying.
Just tell me what to do.
You can't assume shit. You can't assume shit. But anyway,
if I do it on my own, there's gonna be wrong. So
even if because I always thought that when someone tells you what to do, it loses its purpose. In other words, it's like I'm literally giving you the answer, whereas you should have figured it out on your own, kind of thing. It's like if I tell you, oh, I need you to do this, it's like, well, now I'm gonna do it because you told me to, not because I wanted to or because I thought it was the right thing to do.
that's ego, though.
Yeah, I know.
That is,
yes, that's what
that's calling it what it is. That's just ego, though. Is like, well, now I'm not gonna do it because you told me. Like you said, sometimes you just gotta listen, and being a good partner, being a good friend, a lot of times is listening, and sometimes being spoon fed the answer is the way, right?
Yeah.
Is the way. Like sometimes they need to say it out loud for themselves as much as they need you to do the thing that they're asking. They have to say it out loud as well to get past it. You know what I'm saying?
Otherwise, you're just guessing.
Right. And just saying things out loud is a way of admitting, like, this is what it is, right? And that's a part of getting past it and growing, talking about it. And a lot of times when people are going through stuff mentally, they don't talk about it. They compartmentalize it. They suppress that shit, which causes it to compound and get worse. And just the simple fact of them expressing this thing or saying it out loud is helping them get through it. So letting them, because they haven't talked about it a lot of times, they've been holding it in.
Yeah, that's true.
So just the simple fact that they're talking about it and enough to say this is what I need is a step in the right direction. right? And to be
Yeah,
like, well, I'm not doing it now, bitch, because you told me what to do and I didn't figure it out myself. So fuck you and you're depressed. You know, that's silly shit.
Did you deal with that yourself? On either side.
Yeah, I think we all have, right? But you know,
To some degree.
yeah, but I'm Southern black, so we don't actually get diagnosed with shit. So
Yeah, we just guess. Like
we don't actually, we just be like, man, I think my mama bipolar, but I don't know. She ain't ever been to a doctor about this shit. So, but she might be manic than a motherfucker, but we will never know. You right? You know, like so. I mean, I'm positive that I dealt with some heavy depression, especially when like during those 6 years that I wasn't doing comedy. In that 6 year gap, like, yeah, nigga, I was heavily depressed, but I didn't know it at the time.
you didn't know what it was?
Nah, I had no idea. I had no idea why I was acting that way. I had no idea why I felt the way I felt. And then when I got back on stage, it was like I felt a weight come off of me. I felt like the whole world lit back up. I was living in darkness, and all of a sudden the light came back on. And it was like, oh shit, I haven't felt like this in years. Oh, then it was like, what the fuck have I been doing?
6 years?
I'm looking around at my life going, nigga, I have been in squalor for years. And so yeah, man, I was very depressed. I never got diagnosed or whatnot, but knowing what I do know about depression now, I'm like, oh, that's what that was. That's why I was feeling that way. That's why I just stayed on the couch, you know, like that's why I didn't want to do shit. That's why I felt the way I felt. That's why I was going through life the way I was going through, taking the abuse that I was taking, because I was depressed and I couldn't fight back. I just sat there and was a punching bag.
Yeah, it happened to me my sophomore year in college because so I did 1 year in high school in the US. I was the youngest senior. I was youngest senior in my class, and I didn't have time to make friends because I had to like study and shit and graduate. And I'm like, cool, I'm going to college now. So freshman year is gonna be dope because I mean, meet people. I mean, party, you know, dance, all that stuff, which happened. And then my sophomore year, all the motherfuckers that I knew, my freshman year, they pledged houses, fraternities, and all that, and then they acted like they didn't know me. And I was like, yeah, fuck this shit. I'm literally 3 years into this country, and I'm like, I want to go home.
Right.
I was like, these motherfuckers, they're all superficial. They said they're your friend one day, and the next day act like they don't know you. And you know, I have a pet peeve about that. Like, you know, when I meet somebody that I multiple times and they act like that, they don't know me, I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Is that where that stems from?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I remember I would call, what are you doing?
OCD shit.
I would call my friends in France like every day. Like, yo, this is not the place for me. I don't belong here. These people are fake. I can't stand this shit. You guys are real. I mean, you my boys. We grew up together, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck. And I literally, for someone as social as me, that was out all the time, especially my freshman year, everybody was like, yo, back, come to the party, back, bring your CDs. Hey, my friend wants to dance. Come on. I was that kid. And I went from that to literally stay in my room for like, I think 4 months, not going anywhere. I just stayed in my room, played my video games, and people were like, who? And nobody came and got me. One dude did. My boy Bobby Prince lives in San Antonio. He's a firefighter in San Antonio. He's the only one who came and was like, yo, I ain't seen you. What's up? And then he got me like back out there. But I was like, fuck everybody. You know what it's like?
Double middle fingers, huh?
Yes, double. If my dick could do it too, that's 3.
But it looks like a thumbs up.
It's a pinky up.
Motherfucker did look like, hey.
So yeah.
Okay. Is it on me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Another lesson I learned.
And we can't be funny all the time, by the way. We're talking.
So I learned the hard way that sometimes you need to it's okay to ask how to do something. You know, like it's okay to not jump right into things. This is something I'm trying to teach my son right now too. It's okay to not know how to do stuff and to get instruction.
Get help
on how for help on how to do things. First story that comes to mind on this. In fact, when we were at the creek and with this topic came up, the first thing that popped in my mind was this story. We're living in the Philippines. I am 5 or 6. I just learned to ride my bike. And I got really good at riding up and down my street on the bike. There were older kids that I would see riding their bikes, and they're doing all this awesome shit. They got wood, and they're making ramps and stuff, and they're like, on the street riding, ramping their bikes, hitting wheelies, and I'm just learning to ride, and I'm like, I can't wait to do that. Like, fuck yeah. Never asked anybody how to do this stuff, but I'm watching these other kids do it, and I go, I got to do that too. At the top of the neighborhood, there's this ditch, and I used to ride my bike up this street, and I'd stop at the corner, and I would watch these kids all day long just going in and doing loops. They'd ride, and they'd ramp off of this ditch, or ramp off of this thing into this ditch. Bow, landed, and then they come up off the side, roll back around, and there's like a whole line of them, and they were just doing this, just getting badass tricks. And I watched them do this for like weeks until I built up the nerve to finally do it myself. And one day, one of the kids was like, "Hey, kid, come on." I was like, "Oh, I don't know." They're like, "Come on, man." So I go over there, I get in line to do this thing, and it's my turn. Fucking ramps in front of me, ditches in front of me. Boom, I pedal as fast as I can. Hit that ramp. And when I hit the ramp, it's when it dawned on me, nobody ever told me how to ramp. Nobody ever told me what to do when you hit a ramp. So I just pedaled real fast, and the bike, I flipped off of my bike. Like, I went over the handlebars. The bike flipped in the air. I landed on my back in the ditch. The bike landed on me, bounced off. And then now I'm that dude getting up crying, grabbing my bike and running back to the house crying. Like, and nobody had told me, like, yeah, you got to pull the handlebars up. That's how you do this. You gotta pull up on the handlebars.
Oh my God, you're gonna laugh.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I learned a lot of lessons the hard way like that, when it's like, it's okay to say, hey, how do I do this? Like I try to tell my son, you don't have to do that and learn the hard way. I'm right here. There's somebody here you can ask. Don't do the dumb shit. I try to prevent him from doing the dumb shit because I did the dumb shit. I did all of the dumb shit. And one of the dumbest things I did was never asking, hey, how do I do this? How do I do this?
So, couple of things. One, the exact same thing happened to me when I was 6.
Yeah.
I had a BMX bike. Remember those? Mm-hmm. So I had the big helmet, and we had same thing.
No helmet, Philippines, nigga. We just out here fucking living.
No, just still in France. We got standards.
Yeah, we had no fucking standards in the Philippines. We was out here just dying.
So and it's on gravel. Mm-hmm. And same thing. They had like a little track with the bumps and everything. And I was seeing everybody just flying and shit, and I'm like, yo, I'm going to get to the top of that hill, and I'm going to go haul ass. And it was like a double one.
Yeah.
Because you see the double one, the double bump, they'll fly off the first, like the up, and then do something and land on the other side of the double bump thing. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do the same thing, blah, blah, blah. And I just hauled ass. I got in the air, and I freaked out. Just like...
I didn't freak out. I didn't know anything.
No. But I was like, what am I supposed to do? It was like one of those moments. I just let go.
Oh, that's a bad idea.
Well, shit, I'm 6 years old. I don't fucking know. I just let go, and I just landed, luckily, on my back, on the gravel. And part of me was like, I did it. But I was done after that.
Yeah, on mine, there was no I did it. It was the motherfucking bike landed on it, fucking bow right on me. Like, it was like, that was the first time that I'd ever had the wind knocked out of me. Mm-hmm. That was the first time I ever felt that feeling. Pow, boom, bike. Ah! Oh,
It's like a cartoon, and then next thing you know, somebody threw something. And
yeah. Then the anvil came down,
Yeah,
and the piano
anvil,
came.
yes, and then the car, and then the boat.
Yeah.
And then the moon.
And then TNT, and then
Yeah,
boom.
yeah,
and then
like that.
It was so it's like, man, like I learned a lot of lessons on a bike the hard way, and it's just like, man, there's so much shit that we go through that maybe just ask a fucking question.
Well, there's a fine line, because even as a parent, you want to be your job. This is, my dad tells me that to this day, is like my job as a parent or as a mentor or whatever, somebody with authority you respect, is to like shed light on the parts that you wouldn't think about.
Right.
Like, hey, be careful. Watch this. Watch that. Check this out. So, and I get that, but part of it is also try. If you fuck up, and you learn from it.
For sure. And this whole conversation about lessons we learned the hard way, there are a lot of things that you have to learn the hard way. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that there is nobody that can tell you or prepare you for this stuff. You just got to go through it and fucking find out. We've all had a homeboy that was dating a chick that you knew he didn't need to be around. Mm-hmm. But it's like, hey, you got to find out your own way, right? Like, you can months in advance, hey, dog, this shit is not going to end well. And they go through it anyways, and then the shit ends up the way that you told it was going to end up, but they had to go through that to become who they're supposed to become, right?
Yeah.
So part of this is that, and like, that bike thing, that bike analogy, that happened because I learned my lessons, a lot of lessons, the hard way, and there's nobody that could have taught me to. I wouldn't have learned to ride a bike as well as I did as a kid, or learn to do all those tricks, if I didn't know how much it hurts to fucking fall off of a fucking ditch or fall into a ditch and have a bike land on you. I don't want that shit to happen again. Hey, how did that happen? Why didn't I ask the question?
Fuck up first and then ask.
Yeah, and that is 1,000% a boy thing. We're all fucking idiots, and we're all going to find out the hard way.
Yep.
Because like you, at the top of that thing, in our mind, we see, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go real fast as I've ever rode my bike. I'm going to hit this thing, and I'm going to do all this, not knowing what we don't know. And there's a lot of things that you don't know what you don't know, and you have to find out the hard way. But you know what? Nigga, sometimes it's okay to say, hey, how I do this.
Well, let me ask you this. Was it like that for comedy? With comedy for you? Did someone... I mean, you try, you go up, you bomb, you go up, you bomb, you're like, something's off. And then you ask somebody, or you watch, or somebody says, yo, let me show you.
Yeah, man. But I mean, my comedic journey is very different than most. I was fortunate at the beginning. The very first time I went up, River Center Comedy Club, 2004, Friday, February 4th, 5 p.m. I get to the club, and I don't even remember the guy's name that was running the open mic that day, but because he left San Antonio like a week later to go to LA to chase his comedy dreams out there. But he told me, hey man, you're going to suck. First time, right? Yeah, you're going to suck. Don't worry about it. Come back next week. And I was like, the fuck is he talking about? I ain't finna suck. And he's like, no, you're going to suck. Mm-hmm. Even if you don't think you suck, you're going to suck. We all did. Just keep coming back. So I had that little nugget to start off with. And I did. I sucked. I sucked like a motherfucker that first time. I wasn't prepared for shit.
And the second time. And the third time.
No, speak for yourself.
Fuck off, okay.
Speak for yourself. By the third time, I was killing.
Yeah, right.
I ain't look back.
He was headlining after
I ain't say that. I said I didn't suck the third time. But at that show, that first time, was Jay Wycott and a bunch of other people that ended up, that were in the scene that day. That first time when I got off stage, like, did you write? Nah. Dude, you need to write. Okay. And, like, immediately that day I got feedback. Mm-hmm. Like, I went up there, I bombed, and then immediately I got feedback on, hey, this is how you do this. All right? Come back next week. Try this thing. That's not everybody's experience with stand-up.
No, yeah, of course not. And so the conversation I was having with the dude Les, who was touring with 20 Woods, he was talking about how, you don't know what you don't know. If you reach a certain level of success in your craft, whatever that is, but someone who's been there and done it, or you're still sucking, doesn't matter really. But someone who's been there and done that looks at you and goes, "Hey, let me pull you up. Like let me show you. Like I have all these resources I have access to. Let me help you out because I see something in you, or maybe you're missing a few things or whatever. And the conversation I was having was that he was saying that doesn't really happen much in the black community, as opposed to white people, Latinos, Jewish people. It's like we don't pull each other up. And what I was trying, because he was like, yo, I know motherfuckers that are hilarious, like, but they in this city or that city, and they're not getting their due or their shine because nobody is coming up to them and saying, hey, let me produce your special, or hey, let me I'm touring, you want to come on the road with me?
Testament to that sitting right in front of you, right? Out here in fucking Austin for years, just and just in the discard pile, and then eventually found a way to make it out and do whatever. But I mean, there was nobody here in this scene that was like, yo, let me help you. Let me do, none of that shit.
Yeah.
I had to do it on my own because there was nobody here there was no big brother, right? Like in San Antonio, I had that. It was, hey, let me show you how to write. Hey, let me show you how to do this. So I mean, there's a lot of truth to that statement. I mean, but then the flip side of that is that's why I am the way that I am. Whatever I know, and you're a testament to this. But if I know something, if I have any information, I am more than happy to share it with you.
Right.
I
look, honestly, I consider you my big brother in comedy.
If I have keys, which I don't have many, I got a key to a mailbox and a key to the house. But if I got those keys, I share those keys with everybody. Because anybody that reaches out and is looking for information, because of what you just said, because that's not a thing, especially in our community, with people trying to, pull other people up and help them out, or even just share whatever knowledge they have. A lot of people just like to hold their little knowledge and shit,
there's nothing worse.
Like Gollum, the Precious.
No, dude, there's nothing worse than I would say black gatekeeper.
Oh yeah, black gatekeepers is.
It's like it's such a ego trip. It's like the bouncer at the club who goes, nah, I don't like your shoes. You're not getting in.
Let's be honest. Black gatekeepers real quick turn into house niggas. Y'all niggas stay out in that field. I'm in here with Massa. Massa don't like it when y'all come sleeping and singing around the house like this.
Seriously, it really boggles my mind. So what I was telling Les was that, okay, all these guys that you mentioned that are, according to you, which, there got to be some truth to it, hilarious, but they out there, they're actually doing great things, but you don't hear about them. They're not on TV, or they're not on big podcasts, or they're not, doing theaters or even stadiums. What is it? Now that you know that motherfuckers are not going to help you out, what is the step past that? If that's the constant in the equation, what's the variable that you can be like, okay, if I need to ask for help, how do I move up? How do I move the needle to where I get closer to whatever success is?
That's when you start doing it yourself, right? I mean, that's what I had to do. I had to fucking figure it out on my own. Like, nobody was here to help, so fuck it. I figured it out. A lot of trial and error.
Yeah.
Right? And, I mean, that's the point of this conversation in general. There's a lot of shit that we learned the hard way because we didn't have somebody there to show us the easier way. Like, my pops was gone. My pops was gone at 12. And
gone as in,
like, they divorced. He was gone.
Oh, yeah,
he was gone
okay.
at 12. And then come to find out, I made a lot of the same mistakes that my dad made because he wasn't there to shine a light and say, hey, don't go down that way. So I found myself going down a lot of the same roads that my dad went down, not knowing that my dad made these same mistakes because there was nobody there to say, hey, been there, done that, don't do that shit. Right? That's the main reason that, like, as a dad, like, I'm not going nowhere. My wife can shit on my chest tomorrow. I'm not going nowhere because I'll be goddamn if my kids are going to go through the same shit that I went through. I'm going to be goddamn if my son's going to make the same mistakes that I made because my dad wasn't there to tell me not to do it, and his dad wasn't there to tell him not to do it. You know what I'm saying? My dad made mistakes that his dad made. because his dad wasn't there to show him. And then I made mistakes my dad made because he wasn't there to show me. It's a fucking chain of misinformation and just us making dumb. Think about how much further the Cheatham men would be.
The dynasty of Cheathams would have been like,
if one Cheatham man would have just stayed and with his kids, right?
or just did it right.
Right.
They did it right way.
So that's where I'm at now. That's the legacy I'm trying to create, is that I'm here to make sure that they don't make the same mistakes that I made, and they don't have to learn all these lessons the hard way like you and I did. You know?
I mean, I got, to me, it was more the opposite because
Was your dad protective? Like too protective?
No, not too protective, but like hey, you need to do this. You need to do that. You need to do this. You got to do that. You got to do this. You got to do that. I'm like, hey, can I fuck up once? Mm-hmm. It was like that. And to the point where like it works for some of us where it's like, oh, I'm telling you, you got to do it this way. And I'm like, why? That's your interpretation, but I think I'm gonna go this route. And if I fuck up, I fuck up.
There's more than one way to skin a cat.
No, exactly. Like for instance,
that's a terrible saying, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I just as it came out of my mouth, I was like, ew. Why would you want to
skin a cat?
Use a spoon.
He was craving with a pussy with a spoon.
Sherbert.
Meow. Yeah.
If anybody one day pussy with a spoon, don't holler at your boy. I got.
Oh, I'll take a straw.
I got a spoon.
I'll suck on it too.
I keep a spoon in the car now. I got a spork in that bitch too for the freaks.
I got a ladle like everybody else.
Do you have a third one?
Huh?
Do you have a third one?
My third one's silly. So I want to keep on this. I think this is good. I want to the whole like asking for help versus doing it on your own or not. And you know when I did feedback, I launched it in 2010, and I never thought of it as a business. It was just like, hey, I make money in my day job, and I have this opportunity to really throw events and start the blog and the podcast and all those things. And for the longest time, people thought that that's what I did. Like I didn't have a day job. Feedback was how I made a living. And I'm like, no, I do have a job that supports what I'm doing. And nobody came down and say, hey, I like what you're doing. Maybe you should, how about put a business plan together? Or turn it into something. You know what I mean? I'm not bitter about it. 13 years later. But again, it comes down to I thought I knew what I was doing, but I didn't. And yet if I had asked for help, if I had asked somebody, yo man, I suck at numbers, or I suck at I need and don't get me wrong, I did get some help, and it was people volunteer. I never asked. The thing is, in our culture, you don't do that. Asking for help is not a
sign of weakness, or that's what they try to make you feel like. Oh, you
like,
need help, nigga. Oh, now you need help.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you was a smarty-eyed nigga. Now you need help.
Yep.
All right.
It's like no. It's even worse. It's I don't want to burden you with my shit.
That's why I don't ask for help.
Yes.
I don't want to be a burden to anybody else.
It's more of a. It's not of a like, oh, I know everything. It's like, I got my problems, you got yours.
I don't want to.
I don't want to pass. Yeah, I don't want to pass.
I know your plate's full. I'm not gonna.
Exactly, and it's in our culture, at least in Africa, it's like it's very frowned upon when you ask somebody else for help. Someone comes down and say, "Hey, I'm gonna help you. You need moving. You need to do this with your family. You need me to take care of this. All right, fine, I got you." But asking is like kind of off limits.
So in Africa, instead of asking, the people be like, "Oh man, I'm moving tomorrow. Boy, I got a whole lot of stuff to move."
No, it's like this. This is the African way to ask. So what you got going on next weekend? I don't know, just chilling. Because I got a Because if you're not doing anything, because I'm sure you got something going on, you just don't know yet. I'm sure you got something going on, but you know, I'm supposed to move. Oh, cool. And you just leave it at that. It never goes past, oh, can you help me move? I need you to come to my house at 11. Like you assume they're going to go, oh, do you need help? That's the assumption.
Right.
But that doesn't come. Because you are
not blunt. Do they come and help?
Eventually.
I need to move to Africa so niggas stop asking me shit.
That's the thing. I was talking to Rebecca about that. I'm like, look, I don't like to ask for stage time, and she goes, "You got to get over that shit."
Yeah.
As much, not.
Oh, I'm the same.
It sucks.
I'm the same.
I hate it. I fucking hate it. And she goes, "No, you got to get. You don't."
Squeaky wheel gets oil, right?
Well, you don't make the shots you don't try. So you don't.
You don't make any of the shots you don't take.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was talking to Brian Holzman, and he has a special out on YouTube, and he asked me.
Does he?
Yeah, he does.
When did it drop?
About a month ago.
Did it?
Yeah.
Let me check the numbers on that.
It's called Cancel something. Cancel Me.
You got that dead air.
That's fine. 52K.
52K?
Yeah. That's pretty good.
That's pretty solid. Okay, now I know
pretty good.
To beat. All right.
And I'm like, I'm
gonna start promoting my shit now.
I'm like, did you ask Rogan or any of those guys to put you on or talk about it? And he's like, I don't want to ask. And I'm like, yeah, you don't make the shots you don't take.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you think I should? I'm like, fucking, what's the worst that can happen? A no. And that's the thing. That you're scared of the no, and I don't think it'll be a no. Mm-hmm. But it's really a thing. It can be crippling. I gotta admit.
Yeah,
because you go about life and you think and you're scared to ask, and there's tons of people out there who actually can or have the capacity to help, and you just like, no, you know what? It's my problem, not yours.
Yeah, I mean, I went through a rough spell last year, and around this time last year, I was spiraling downwards. And my dad was like, when I finally, fucked up enough and hit the bottom, my dad was like, you didn't have to go through all this. You could have asked for help a long time ago. Like, you didn't have to go through any of this. Just ask for help. And I was like, yeah, but why would I?
Grown man.
Yeah, why would I ask for help? Like, you got your own shit going on. He's like, because you're my son and I'm your father. And I'm here to help you. That's why I'm here, to help you. And it's like, yeah, but I'm not going to bother. My mind is like, why would I bother you with this? Like, I'm a man. I got a family. I shouldn't be having to come ask you for help. And the fact that I have to ask for help is enough to be like, I'm not asking for help.
You know what? Because then they'll hold that not against you, but like on top of you. Like,
some people, like, that's my mom.
That time when I help you?
That's my mom. My mom is the, I help you, now you owe me. My mom, I had asked her for help once, and she was like, I'll help you, but you have to call me every week from now on. And I was like, well, you keep your stank ass help. Like,
goddamn.
But it was like, that's like, you can't put conditions on help.
No.
Right?
No, it's not a give and take. I think that I'm a strong believer that you get it back somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I always say, I was just on this podcast this morning talking about like my journey in Austin. And I'm like, I've been able to do the shit I've been able to pull off in Austin, doing the events and all that stuff, is because I paid it forward back then when I would just show up at an empty bar with one DJ, and I would just talk to the DJ and talk to the staff. Mm-hmm. And next thing you know, I'm doing an event there, 3 years later. But I never said, yeah, remember that time when I came and there was nobody there, and I bought drinks for everybody, and and I supported you and I shared your stuff and da da da. Yeah, well, now I need a venue for my event.
Right.
Yeah, pay me back. No, don't do that.
That's kind of like my mentality as well. It's just like, hopefully that the good I've put into the world will come back.
I believe in that strongly,
in a moment that I need to be uplifted, that the karma will come back and hit me tenfold. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what I'm betting on.
That's
how much longer I can bet on it. Holy shit.
Yeah, I wish Karma
Karma would be
paid,
quick.
paid cash. I mean,
I was hoping he'd be expedited or something because holy shit.
I mean, Karma, nigga, I wish my credit score would go up off my Karma. Like, talk about credit, Karma, nigga. I need some of these good deeds to come back.
Look, you put yourself out there. You do good in the world, and it comes. I really.
You know what? I'm gonna start doing bad if it means I make money. I'm gonna do real bad. I'm gonna start walking around slapping the shit out of people, just telling them, I was here for you in 1997, nigga, right?
Hey, like, remember that time you needed a ride because you were too fucked up to drive? Remember that time?
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah. December 2nd, 1997.
Remember that time you was too drunk and you couldn't fuck your girl, so I took care of that for you?
Yeah. Pay back, motherfucker.
Pay back. I fucked your chick real well.
I'm coming to collect.
I'm coming to collect. Give me the money or give me your girl. I'm coming to collect.
But I really believe in that. So anyway, this is good. I like this episode.
I have one last thing I'll share then. If you're not going to give us, because you didn't have a third one, I do have a third.
I had one, but now that we've been all serious, I don't want to ruin it with.
I'm going to ruin
something
it.
Silly. If you ruin it, I'll top it. Go ahead.
I'll ruin it. I learned the hard way that like the human body, as you age, does different things. Like things like there's a lot of shit that I didn't know was going to start happening until it happened.
Yeah, that's pretty much how shit works.
Right? Like with our body. Like there's, things outside, but it's like even with your body, like I didn't know that this was So I was working at Walmart back in the day.
Uh-huh.
I had a homegirl named Tracy. I was deciding whether I was going to say her name or not.
That's fine.
Now you don't know if I use her name or not. I had a homegirl named Tracy.
Uh-huh.
Tracy was cool as shit. Tracy had a thing from my roommate, Rodney. And but Rodney wasn't hearing it because Rodney had his eyes on someone else that he then eventually married down the line, right? But Rodney wasn't hearing it. Tracy, though, was bad. Tracy was a bad bitch. Right? Tracy was bad.
Mm-hmm.
So me and Tracy got along because Tracy and I used to talk shit. I'm a shit talker, Tracy a shit talker, and we would sit in the break room at Walmart and we'd be talking shit back and forth, going back and forth. And one day I was talking shit about Tracy's booty. And I was like, I made fun of her and I was like, I bet you got fucking hairy booty and all this stuff. She's like, motherfucker, I shave my booty.
Shave?
Yeah. And I was like, bitch, who
shaves their booty?
Who shaves their booty? And she goes, oh, my shit is sparkles. And I go, bullshit. Don't nobody shave their booty. None. And she's like, no.
Hairy butt cheeks?
My shit is, she's like, I wax. I ain't never got a hair down there. Never I shave, wax, all this. I was like, bullshit. Prove it. She goes, name the time and the place. I said, tonight at Rodney's house. She goes, okay, I'll be there. So I go to Rodney's crib later on that day because I was already going to be hanging at his crib.
Uh-huh.
Go to Rodney's crib, and Tracy pulls up. And I was like, oh, shit. I didn't think Tracy was really going to pull up. And so I hadn't told Rodney and my homeboy. It was like me, Rodney, and John at Rodney's crib. I hadn't told them Tracy was coming over, what was happening, because I didn't expect this nigga to really come through.
Mm-hmm.
This nigga comes through, knocks on the door. I open the door. She's like, she walks into the house, doesn't even address Rodney or my boy John. She goes, let's go. Walks right through the living room she had been to Rodney's house before, so into the extra room.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, come on. And I walk in there and Rodney and John are like, yo, what the fuck is going on? And I was like, I got to handle this real quick. And they're like, no, what the fuck is going on? You know, when you walk into a room with a chick with two other dudes in the house, they're like, what's going on? What's even? I'm trying to see what's happening, right? So I close the door and they're banging on the door, trying to, hey, don't be locking doors in my house, nigga. Don't. Right? Tracy drops her pants, spreads her cheeks. Whew. Sparkling. I said, I wasn't expecting this. Like, she dropped her shit. I was just like, oh, shit. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she pulls her shit up. She goes, your turn. Wait, what?
That was a part of the deal.
I didn't know that. Wait, she goes, no, I showed you mine. Now show me yours. You was talking shit. Show me yours. And they're banging on the door still. Rodney's like, I'm getting the key, nigga. This is bullshit. And then she's like, hurry up before they come in. Fuck. buckle my shit. We had been playing ball and shit that day. We was
swamp ass.
drop my pants, spread my cheeks, and just as I do, Rodney busts in the door, and she go and I just hear, "Nigga, what is that smell?" And then Tracy's like, "Ugh, what the fuck?" And I didn't realize that, you get that booty cheek sweat up in there and that shit. Like, I didn't know that was a thing. At this, I'm like 20. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that because it hadn't happened up to this point in my life before, right? I'd never had to spread my cheeks. I didn't know that was a thing.
The fact that she did it, it's just dumb.
It is. The whole thing.
That was not part of the deal.
It wasn't part of the deal, but I said, fuck it. And there was pressure. But that moment, I learned that lesson. Like, oh shit. This is something that needs maintenance. This is something that I need to be on top of because this is embarrassing as fuck. I bet I'll never get caught with stinky booty sweat in my booty again.
Ugh.
But I had to learn that lesson the hard way in front of a baddie, in front of a bad one. Luckily,
where's Tracy today?
Tracy's still my friend today. Tracy's still my friend.
I'll ask her.
Tracy's like that only made us tighter. That
would look, you saw my ass. I saw your
ass.
Like we're just for life.
Yes, you're my nigga forever, forever.
Yes.
But just that was that let me know that, hey man, just because this is the way your shit works today, don't mean it's always gonna work that way. And you need to be like, I had started being cognizant of like changes in my body, like even like the way my body responds to deodorants or stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It made me pay more attention
to your BO
to my body in general. Because I didn't in my 21, 20, give a fuck. I'm acting a goddamn ass. Like I'm invincible. I never thought about booty sweat. Like that wasn't a thing until that moment. It was like, oh shit, nigga, like I need to pay more attention to what's going on here.
Look, when you take things for granted, is usually, and then something happens, you're like, fuck, I shouldn't ignore this anymore.
I bet I'll never make that mistake again is what happened. I bet this shit never happened again.
I had you remember the big freeze that happened a couple of years ago, 2021? Mm-hmm. You had a big freeze here and it lasted like 3 days or 4 days or whatever.
Wait, are you talking about the freeze or the snow?
The snow one.
Okay, the snow.
Yeah, the snow one. Where I was stuck in my apartment, no electricity, no water, like nothing. I ended up going to a friend's house, and my middle finger, my left middle finger got infected. I don't know how. Maybe I didn't wipe right. I don't know how the fuck. But all I know is that I look like a fucking cartoon. My middle finger, and the whole time, so can't see a doctor. Can't get medication because everything is shut down, right? I looked online, I looked up all kinds of, at-home remedies, like, you have to dip it in vinegar and apple cider vinegar. I tried all that shit. None of that happened. It just doubled in size, and that shit hurt. I look like a fucking Tom and Jerry cartoon. And I was like, man, I didn't know that I needed this finger so much. That my left, and I don't really go like this a lot, but just in terms, like for everyday things, like you take shit for granted, and you're like, oh yeah, shit, I can't hold my phone, I can't type.
That's the finger I get my eye boogers out with.
Yes, that's the one. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh, when this goes away, I'm gonna make sure I pay more attention to it because that's the thing. When you take shit for granted, that's usually when it breaks down. You go, fuck.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times that we take our bodies for granted, especially when we're young.
Oh yeah, we're invincible.
Yeah, because we're not thinking about there's a reason. Like there's just so much shit that you don't realize every day. I use my pinky for this, or I use this, or that when I get older, I'm gonna need to have knees still. So, I'm still gonna you might sprain your ankle 7, 8, 9, 10 times playing basketball in your 20s, and then when you turn 40, oh man, it hurts walking upstairs.
Yo, tell you what, this past week, one of my son's classmates' dad, dude from Cameroon, he was like, yo, back, you want to go you want to go run at 6 in the morning. I'm like, do I want to? No, but should I? Probably. So I'm like, all right, we're gonna meet at the park. This is on the 4th of July, and he goes, we're gonna meet at the park, Walnut Creek Park, and we're gonna run. I'm like, look, you do marathons, I don't. I haven't ran in years. I remember.
But you're African, so you got a leg up.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, it can't be too hard, to do all that.
You're born with cardio.
Exactly. I'm like, I could do this. And so, and I started giving him some like, hey, I haven't run in years. I don't know if I have the right shoes. It's 6 in the morning. Don't be running too fast. Like if I stop, don't talk shit and all that stuff. And I ran 1.2 miles. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to pay for this. And that was the day with the fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
And my son getting tired, going, Dad, can you carry me? And I had to carry his ass, and my knees were fucked. Up and down the stairs, I'm tired. Put me on your shoulders. Sure, son. But man, I was struggling.
Did I tell you about the basketball games last couple of days of school? So the last couple of days of school this year, I the day before the last day. No, so I didn't work the last day. So the day before the last day and the day before that, I ended up playing ball at school. Mm-hmm. I go to do a sub assignment at one middle school, and it turns out that's the day that they're doing the boys 8th grade athletics versus the staff basketball game.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, you're subbing for the coach, so you're going to be playing in the game. And I was like, bitch, I am wearing jeans and a polo. Like, and some Chuck Taylors. Like, and they're like, well, we can get you a pair of shorts if you want. I'm like, no, you know what? Fuck it. Like, we're just going to make this. We'll do whatever, right? But I was, oh my gosh. Like, I ain't had the ball like that in years. I haven't balled in general in years, but it's like, as soon as I realized I had to run up and down the court, I was like, ooh, bitch, this is not. And then, so I played the game. In that game, sweated hard. Like, I could literally feel the sweat shooting out of my pores. Like, that's how hard. I could feel it. It was like, ew.
Like you wish you had wipers for your eyes because it kept coming down.
Oh, my goodness. And then the next day, I'm at another middle school that I subbed at most of the year. So I knew most of the kids there and whatnot. I'm in PE, and they were just doing whatever. And like every kid that they gave me shit throughout the school year wanted to take me on in one-on-one that day. Again, I'm in jeans. And
jeans are what, moccasins?
The first 3 kids, they got no mercy. Fuck y'all, right? Because I still had a little energy. But by the time we got to the end of the day, like 2 days back to back of playing ball at 40, like I had nothing left. And that last kid, I was just like, we got to shoot from 3-point range. Like, I could have easily just backed him down and like I did the first 2 kids. I could have just taken this kid and just pounded him into paint, got 10 points, playing one-on-one, and beat him. I was like, that's just going to take some effort for me to, I'm just going to shoot the ball from where I catch it. So that kid won like 9-11. And and his boys are trying to lift him up on the shoulders and this shit. And I was just like, man, fuck you, because I already know the next week I'm not going to be able to leave my house. I literally, like, school ended and I was on the couch with ice packs on my knees. I had that fucked me up. You know how they say, like, we can't get fucked up when you get in your 40s because it takes you like 3 days to recover from getting drunk? Yeah, it takes like 2 weeks to recover from a game of ball. And it took me like 2 weeks for my knees to stop hurting. Like,
yeah, I feel you. I ran my girlfriend at the time, this is 2010, 2011, was like, hey, let's do the turkey trot. Which is what, 5K?
5K.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, sure, let's do the turkey trot. The thing is, she would get up and run and like pretty much every day. I didn't. And it was her idea. I was like, it's a turkey trot. I'm like, it's okay. I used to run. I'm African. I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have the shoes, so I got my dad's shoes. And which are like nearly one size bigger, right? So it's already bad. And I'm like,
You
yeah,
ain't put no paper towels or newspaper in there?
no, I didn't know that. Again, I don't know what I didn't know. Nobody showed me.
Yeah.
Nobody shed the light and said, hey, you need, if they're too big, put some paper in there. Put some. No.
Stuff the top.
Yeah, exactly. But I did that. And I ran the thing. I did pretty well. Moral of the story is I spent Thanksgiving on the floor.
Yeah.
I ate my Thanksgiving meal like on the floor. I couldn't get up. I couldn't walk.
Yeah.
My knees and at the time I'm like 32.
Right.
30, yeah, maybe younger. I think. Yeah. And that was it. So moral of the story is work your way up to a 5K. Don't fuck around and think you can do it just because you're black and you have African blood.
I laid on the floor. The floor has never been more comfortable. Than after you fucking
yes.
After you just got done
you were hugging it.
Yes.
You're like, give me a pillow and I am good.
And like my daughter will come. Like that's one of my favorite things that she does. Like my daughter will come lay on top of me, and she's done it since she was a baby. Mm-hmm. And she'll just come lay on me, and she's 5 now, so she can still like fit on me. But like I'm laying on the floor just dead, and then she lays on top of me and is like, "Oh God, I'm never gonna leave this spot. I'm gonna sleep. I'm never leaving this patch of carpet right here."
Look, I would crawl commando style to the table and prop myself up to get more food.
See, my wife.
And nobody would bring me shit either.
Like my wife is like, like she's one of the
Yeah, I told you.
So like every time she walk in the room, I'd be like, "All right, I'm getting up. I'm just doing push-ups." I'm trying not to play it off. She's like, thought you could still. Like, nah, nigga, I can still do stuff. And then I'd wait for her to leave the room and be like, fuck. It would take me like 2 minutes to get down the stairs at the house. I'm just like holding on to the rail because my legs don't bend no more. Just sliding down the rail.
All right, here's my last one.
All right.
Here's my last one. Then we're going to wrap up.
Never trust a big butt and a smile.
No. For the longest time. Not that okay. I didn't think girls pooped. Let me explain. Look, you're a pussy with a spoon, so shut up. So
with a spoon and a stinky booty.
Yeah, exactly. Like I know they're humans, and then they need to do that. But I'd never I don't want to think. I'd never want to think about it. Like that was, and my best friend Kat would be like, no, we do. I took a big dump this morning. It was magnificent. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I don't want to picture it. I don't want to. Don't. Like, to me, you're like this pristine thing.
So at this point, had you never smelled a girl fart?
No, never smelled a girl fart. Nothing. So
first girl's fart.
Yeah, I know they do.
Fucks your brain. The first time you walk into one, it fucks you up. Like that came from you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going out with this chick, and I pick her up. I pick her up from her house. We go out. We dance it up. It's a good time. And we get back to her house, and we both, she's a little drunk, and I'm a little buzzed. I'm like, all right, hold on, before we do this, let me go to the bathroom real quick. I open the door to the bathroom, and there's a log just floating there. Talking about the hard way, it's just floating there, and I'm like, you don't have roommates. What the fuck is this? And mind you, it wasn't there when we left. So that means that was fresh.
Yep.
And I looked at it and I was like, I can't. I can't do this with you. I can't. Just the fact that now I know you can produce this. Nah. Not doing it. I'm going home.
Wait, were you supposed to smash and then you decided not to because there was a turd in the toilet?
Yeah, that was hers.
I had a friend, a homegirl, come through the crib. Similar situation. She came over to my crib, and it's not that I didn't know that girls didn't poop. It was that I didn't realize that poor people do things differently. I put it, not even poor, but there's that rural people that grew up in the country do things a little differently. Uh-huh. So this broad comes over to the crib and, can I use your bathroom? I'm like, yeah. So she goes in the bedroom, goes to the bathroom, comes out. I go in my bathroom, and there wasn't anything overtly that alerted me to the fact that she had just pooped. Outside of the fact that when I went, I think I was like using a Q-tip. I went to throw it in the trash, and there was doo-doo paper in my trash can. And I said,
Whoa. Toilet paper.
Yeah.
In the trash can.
In the trash can. And I go, hey. Hey.
Where is she? Where that
Let me holler at you real quick.
Where that bitch from?
Come, Del Valley.
God damn. Oh.
I said, why is there doo-doo paper in my trash can? Oh, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't even know you shit. Let alone, why is there doo-doo paper in my trash? She goes, oh, that's right. Well, like, back where I live, like, we have septic tanks, so you can't flush the toilet paper. I said, bitch, we in the city. We are in the city. You better put that shit in the toilet.
And flush it 3 times. Holy
I was like,
shit, literally.
Whatever you thought was going to happen tonight,
it ain't going to happen.
You put doo-doo paper
in my trash can.
In my trash can.
It's a small trash can.
Yes.
Too. Like, you see everything in it.
Yeah. And I'm just like,
it ain't got no lids.
No. Bitch, you thought this was cool to just leave doo-doo paper in my trash can?
Whoa. One?
No, doo-doo paper. If it was just one doo-doo paper, I'd be like, oh, she left a little. No, doo-doo paper. Like, she wiped.
Like, she wiped multiple times.
Yeah,
and put every single one of them
in the trash can.
God damn, that animal.
I said, ew, bitch. Ew, bitch. You will be sleeping on the couch tonight.
What do you mean? Get the fuck out of my house.
That was her ride.
No.
And the Uber wasn't necessarily a thing at the time. But it was like, ew, you can go, you know, you got a homegirl come scoop? It was, yeah, like, either way, nothing went down that night. Just like you was like, nah.
Nah, I ain't doing it.
I know girls poop, but I ain't know that nasty bitches put doo-doo paper in the trash can.
Look, I'm telling you, the log I saw was not the size. Like, it felt like it was sideways stuck. You look at the hole.
I don't want to.
Look, I'm over it now, but I'm saying at the time, it was like that. I'm like,
imagine if you'd have looked over and saw
little.
doo-doo paper.
I'm like, I got to go.
You got a log, and because you saying there's a log, which indicates that there was no toilet paper in the toilet,
or she didn't flush right,
or there was doo-doo paper in the trash can.
She had a shitty ass to be anyway.
Yeah, she was gonna back that doo-doo streak up to you. He's African, he won't notice.
Oh my God, that was traumatizing.
Yeah,
that was. I learned the hard way, literally.
So that's when you found. That's what you're really saying is that was when you discovered that there's nasty bitches in this world.
Yes, there is.
All right.
And when girls say, like men's bathroom are nasty. That's just
it is
fact. And then I hear women go, "Yo, women's bathroom is just as dirty." I'm like, "You've been in a men's bathroom, yeah. But like, there's some nasty bitches out there."
You know why? Because those non-flushing bitches still use public bathrooms, and they just be leaving their toilet paper on the side of the toilet.
What?
Yeah.
Yeesh.
Because they don't. It happened when I was working at Home Depot. I used to hate when I had to use the bathroom at Home Depot because, let's just say these trailer park people. I ain't gonna call the Mexicans out, but these trailer park people would wipe their ass and then put the toilet paper on the side of the toilet or behind the toilet. And it'd just be a pile of doo-doo paper that they didn't flush. They would wipe and put it beside the toilet. And and like the first time I saw it, I was like, yo, this shit is gross, y'all. And they're like, oh man, it's just those people, they live where they have septic tanks, so they're not used to flushing. I go, bitch, this the city.
If you learn anything today, this is the city. We got sewers. We got
like
pipes.
take that uncouth, unsophisticated booty having asses. Like you are when you come to the city, our shit works. Flush your shit.
It's a button. Just
flush. Flush. Listen, we say don't put paper towels and other shit down the toilet. Doo-doo paper, put that bitch in the toilet and flush it. Don't stop, because then somebody's got to, not me, but somebody's got to come clean that doo-doo paper, and I'll be goddamn if you're finna get your boy out here.
This is what I love about this episode, is that we went
from depression to doo-doo paper. Doo-doo brown.
Oh my God, this is good. This is good. All right.
We should stop while we're ahead.
Yeah, follow Aaron Cheatham _ Aaron Cheatham.
Everything, YouTube,
Yeah,
Twitter,
watch
Instagram.
Family Man on YouTube. Just Google. If you Google Aaron Cheatham, it's the first thing that comes up. Family Man.
Thank you.
Let's get those numbers up.
I need all 7 of you niggas
Yes, please.
to hit me with that.
Follow the feedback on Instagram and Record Play Live. Once again, the Divas edition on
gonna be hot.
Saturday, August 26th at the Pershing Hall. You can go to recordplay.live/divas to get your tickets. They're already going. I think I'm halfway sold out of the couches. Yeah, I am. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next time. Ciao, ciao.
Peace. Gotta go get your son.